Marcus Aurelius was born 1800 years ago, but he still has some big ideas for us today. Let us break them down one by one and see how we can use them to be better humans. This is part of our series where we break down the wisdom of history's greatest minds. If you like this video, then check out the other videos in the series. You might also enjoy them. Let's get into it. Idea no. 1. Stop focusing on what's bad and start focusing on what's good. Marcus Aurelius was the Roman emperor who wrote Meditations, a book about Stoic philosophy. He wrote it for himself so no one else could read it. But somehow it got leaked, and now we all get to benefit from it. In his book, he writes down his thoughts and ideas about life and how to live it. One of the things that he keeps coming back to is the idea of focusing on the good stuff. He says that we should focus on the good things in life and try to make them even better, and we should try to put the bad things in their place. You could say that Marcus Aurelius is kind of like a grumpy old man. Like when I say put the bad things in their place, I don't mean ignore them or pretend they're not happening. What he means is that we need to look at the bad stuff with the right mindset and not let it get us down. He knew that there would always be people who wanted to take advantage of others, and that bad things would always happen in the world, but he didn't want those things to ruin his happiness. So instead of focusing on the bad stuff, he tried to find the good in everything. And you know what? It actually worked for him. He became one of the most powerful men in the world and still managed to stay calm and happy. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. So how can we do this in our own lives? Well, it starts with being aware of our thoughts. We need to pay attention to what we're rethinking about and try to focus on the good things in life. For example, when something bad happens, instead of dwelling on it, we can try to find the lesson in it. This doesn't mean that we just ignore the bad thing that happened, but rather that we try to learn from it and move on. By focusing on the good things in life and putting the bad things in their place, we can become more resilient and better equipped to handle whatever challenges come our way. Idea number 2, don't be afraid to change. Change is scary, right? It's like stepping into the unknown and no one likes that feeling. Marcus Aurelius talks about this a lot in his writing. He knew that change is inevitable and that sometimes we have to make changes in our lives in order to grow and be our best selves. But he also knew that change can be really scary. So he tried to help us out by giving us some tips on how to deal with it. First, he told us to accept the things that we can't control and focus on the things that we can. When it comes to change, there are some things that are out of our control, like the fact that time is passing, or the fact that people will always try to mess things up. But there are also things that we can control, like our attitude towards the change and how we choose to respond to it. So instead of worrying about the things that we can't control, we should focus our energy on the things that we can. Second, he told us to remember that change is a natural part of life, and that we shouldn't resist it. Like, think about it. Everything in this universe is constantly changing. The only constant is change itself. Trying to resist it is like trying to stop the flow of the river. You're just going to get swept away. Instead, we should learn to go with the flow and make the most of the situation. Finally, Marcus Aurelius reminds us that change can be a good thing. Sure, it might be scary at first, but it also gives us an opportunity to grow and become better versions of ourselves. Like that time when your parents kicked you out of the house and you had to learn how to take care of yourself. It was tough, but it made you stronger in the end. Idea no. 3. Be the person you want to be around. Marcus Aurelius says that we should always try to be the kind of person that we would want to be around. He says that we should treat others the way we want to be treated, and that we should always strive to be better people. This idea is a big part of Stoicism, which is a philosophy about how to live a good and happy life. Stoics believe that we should be in control of our emotions, and that we should always do the right thing. So by being the kind of person that we would want to be around, we would be living according to Stoic principles. It's a pretty simple idea, but it's really powerful. Think about it. Did you want to be around someone who is always negative and complaining? Someone who is selfish and only looks out for themselves? Or someone who is kind and helpful and always sees the good in others? Of course not. You would want to be around someone who is positive and helpful. So if we want to attract those kinds of people into our lives, we need to be that kind of person ourselves. We need to be the kind of person who is a positive force in the world, who makes things better for everyone around them. That's what Marcus Aurelius was all about. He wanted to be a good and honest leader who made the world a better place for everyone. He wasn't perfect, but he always tried to be better. Said that we should all aim to be better than we were yesterday, and that we should never stop learning and growing. So if you want to be the kind of person that you would want to be around, then follow Marcus Aurelius' advice. Be honest, be helpful, and be a positive force in the world. Idea no? 4. Do the right thing. Marcus Aurelius believed that it's up to each of us to do what's right, even if no one is watching. He said that we should be honest, even when no one is looking. He said that we should be kind to others, even when they aren't kind to us. And he said that we should always try to do our best, even when no one is watching. These are simple ideas, but they're also really hard to follow. It's easy to do the right thing when everyone is watching, but what about when no one is looking? That's when it counts. That's when we need to be strong and do the right thing even when it's hard. Marcus Aurelius said that this is what separates good people from great people. The good people do the right thing when everyone is watching. But the great people do the right thing, even when no one is watching. So next time you're faced with a choice between doing what is easy and doing what is right, remember Marcus Aurelius and do the right thing. It might not always be easy, but it's always the right thing to do. All right, folks, I hope those ideas gave you something to think about. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. And if you've got any other ideas you'd like us to cover, let us know in the comments below. We might feature your idea in a future video. Thanks for watching. See ya.